Our objective for today is I can add 3-digit numbers from right to left. So we've already learned 2 other strategies. We learned about using the base 10 blocks in our HTO chart. And then we also learned about branching, which was also in the HTO chart, but instead of the blocks, we have the numbers in there. So today we're going to set up our problem a little bit different, but you'll see it does kind of incorporate some of the things that we have already learned. So to start, we're going to start with the problem 145 plus 4. So notice today how I have my problem set up. And I have it set up so that you can see it's kind of like notebook paper in the background. What I like to do is I like to take the lined notebook paper and turn it sideways. And that way I have columns to keep my hundreds, my tens, and my ones in. And it helps me stay nice and organized because it's so important when we're doing our addition from right to left that we keep our ones together and our tens together and our hundreds together. So when I turn my papers sideways, that helps me stay really organized. So when I have the problem 145 plus 4, I know that my 4 is in my ones place and I know my 5 is in my ones place. So I have to make sure that those are lined up. I can't put this 4 all the way over in the hundreds because it's not in the hundreds. So make sure your ones are with your ones, your tens are with your tens, and your hundreds are with your hundreds. So when we set up our problem this way, you have one addend on top of the other, kind of like how we had it in our HTO chart. You can almost picture the little H and the T and the O up here, but it just looks a little bit different. So when we're doing from right to left, just like what the strategy is called, we start on the right side. So the right side is where my ones are. So my first step is to add together my ones. And so I've highlighted kind of where I'm going to put my answer for my ones. So the two numbers that are in the ones place are a 5 and a 4. So when I add together 5 ones plus 4 ones, I know that's equal to 9 ones. So I have to keep it in my same place value because it's in the ones spot. So now if I move on to my tens, I'm going to put it right below where I put my answer for the ones. And so I'm going to add together my 4 tens. My second add-in doesn't have any tens. So it would just be 4 tens plus 0 tens, which I know is 4 tens. And I know 4 tens is equal to 40. So again, I have to keep my numbers nice and lined up. With my number 40, I know the 0 is in the ones place and my 4 is in the tens place. And notice how it lines up right in line with the tens. All right, so next I look at my hundreds place. So I'm going to put my hundreds right underneath my tens. So see how it's stacking one on top of the other? I have my ones, my tens, and then my hundreds. So when I look at my hundreds that I'm going to add together, I have my 100 from my first addend, but I don't have any hundreds from my second addend. So I just have 100 plus 0, which I know is just 100. So again, I keep it nice and lined up. In my number 100, I have 0 ones, I have 0 tens, but I have 100. So now I have all of my place values all lined up. And what I do now is I add all of these together. Well, doesn't this just look like expanded form? Here's my hundreds, my tens, and my ones. So if I'm adding these all together, I know that it's basically saying 100 plus 40 plus 9, which is just 149. So again, if I wanted to, I could look down and I say 9 plus 0 is 9. 4 plus 0 is 4. 1 plus 0 is 1. So your sum is 149. All right, ready? I'm going to show you another one, and then it's going to be your turn to do one with me. So this time, let's do 263 plus 16. So again, I line up my numbers. So my first addend is right on top of my second addend. And I keep my ones in the same column, my tens in the same column, and my hundreds in the same column. All right, my first step on right to left is to start on the right side. So I'm going to start in my ones. Remember, my ones are all the way over here. So I'm going to add together 3 plus 6. I know that 3 plus 6 equals 9. So I'm going to put my 9 in the ones place. All right, now let's move the next one over. The next one over is going to be my tens, and it stacks right underneath. So I'm going to look in my tens place, and I'm going to add my 6 tens plus 1 10. Well, I know 6 plus 1 is 7, but I'm in the tens, so it's 7 tens, and I know 7 tens is equal to 70. So I'm going to line that up right underneath my 9 ones. Next, I'm going to look at my hundreds. So remember, my hundreds is going to come right underneath. It's going to keep stacking right underneath. And I'm going to look at my hundreds place. My first addend has 2 hundreds. My second addend doesn't have any hundreds. So 2 plus 0 is just 2, but it's in the hundreds place, so it's 2 hundreds. So I'm going to write down my 200. All right, now, see how again it looks just like expanded form? Or if I wanted to, I can just add going down. 9 plus 0 is 9. 7 plus 0 is 7. 0 plus 2 is 2. So your answer is 279. So 263 plus 16, your sum is 279. All right, your turn to practice with me. Go ahead and grab some paper. If you have lined paper, that would be excellent to use. You can turn it sideways to line it up to keep your hundreds, your tens, and your ones all lined up. If you just have plain paper, that is okay too. Just really make sure that your ones and tens and hundreds all stay in those nice columns. Go ahead and set your problem up just like this one. So you have one addend on top of the other addend. All right, let's work together on this one. First, we're going to add together our ones. So when I look at my ones, I have 1 plus 4. So on your paper, you're going to write how many total ones you have right here. Did you write 5 ones? All right, let's move on to our tens. I have a 1 in my tens, and I have a 4 in my tens. So if I add my 110 plus my 410, I get 5 tens. How many would that be on here? Did you write 50? All right, now let's add up my hundreds. My hundreds is going to come just below. And I'm looking at my 400s and my 000s. Go ahead and write the total right here. What's your answer for 400s plus 000s? 400. All right, now let's combine all of our partial products. We have our 5, our 50, and our 400. Write your total answer down at the bottom. Did you get an answer of 455? All right, let's do another one together. This time, you're going to line up the numbers. Your addends are 481 plus 315. Put your one addend right on top of the other addend. Make sure your ones, your tens, and your hundreds are all lined up. This line underneath is kind of like the equals sign. So over here we have the equal sign. It looks like this. But when we write our problem vertically or up and down, we use this line as our equals sign. All right, let's start right to left. So we're going to start on the right side in the ones. Go ahead and add your ones together. Write your sum. Did you get 6 ones? All right, next one. Now let's add your tens together. Remember, you write your tens right underneath your ones, and you're looking in the tens column. All right, what did you get for your answer of 8 tens plus 1 10? Did you get 9 tens or 90? Let's move on to the hundreds. Hundreds go right below the tens. Think about which place value you're looking in. You're looking in your hundreds. Go ahead and write your hundreds down here. All right, did you have 400 plus 300 equals 700? All right, it looks like expanded form now. 700 plus 90 plus 6. Write your answer to the problem. 481 plus 315. Write your answer right down here. All right, your sum should be 796. All right, let's try one more. I actually think I have 2 more for you to do. I have 133 plus 26. Line up those 2 numbers, line up the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. This time I want you to try it. I'm not going to highlight which numbers to add this time. See if you'll know. So start by adding your ones. All right, did you get 9 ones? Now move on to your tens. Did you get 5 tens or 50? And let's do the hundreds. Hopefully you got 100. Now go ahead and add them all up. What is your final sum? Your sum should be 159. All right, one more that I'm going to help you even less on. This time you're going to add 302 plus 404. Write your problem down, line up all the place values, and go ahead and get started. If you need to, pause the video and then restart the video when you're ready to check your answer. All right, checking your answer, you should have gotten 6 ones. Ooh, then I jumped straight to hundreds, didn't I? That's because there was no tens. 0 plus 0 is still 0. So I was able to jump right to my hundreds, and I put my hundreds underneath my ones. So there were 7 hundreds. Now, same thing, it's still expanded form. 700 plus 6, 706. Hopefully your answer is 706. Now, if you added a line for your tens in here with the zeros, that is perfectly fine. That is another great way to do it. All right, great practice today. Today, for your activity, you are going to play a game called Beat the Teacher. So this is an addition game, and you will find it next on Edgenuity. I have a video that kind of walks us through so we can play together. But then afterwards, if you want to play with somebody at your house, you can also play on your own. Have fun with it.